Pop up, real talk. It's your boy Tommy Brown. Elite knowledge. This is something that most folks don't know nothing about. Even folks who function and participate in that lifestyle, they know nothing about this, right? Prison. In prison, there's a lot of different. Every group, I'll say this, every group is their own military. And within that group, there's all these different positions that need to be filled and that are filled. There are the Minister of Education, there are the Lieutenant, the Sergeant of Arms, there's all these different roles. There's the shot caller who's the captain, there's foot soldiers and all these different things. And a lot of time what happens is a survey is done by the shot callers, right? What they recognize is that their numbers are dwindling, and that or that they are in fear of their numbers dwindling, right? Especially when, I say, for instance, they pass some kind of bill or something that open up the floodgates. That is a threat to a lot of people, right, who's in prison, because they're going to lose their numbers, right? And so it's like, what do? We need to do something in order to fill these positions up. So we don't mind necessarily the dudes out there on the streets coming to prison, knocking people down, being active and stuff, and coming to jail for those crimes, right? Because they have an extended period of time. They more than likely will have life, right? We're looking forward to that, because especially if they're solid, right? That's what you want, solid people in here. So they'll step in, step up, fill them shoes. It may take them some time to get there, but eventually they'll get there, right? You can pass it on, because folks who are in prison are either dying, they're old, they're dying out, or they're losing to release, if you will, right? So you need solid individuals in prison to keep this thing going, because the group that has the less members or the less numbers, they are the group that will be taken advantage of in prison, absolutely, right? And so you need for people to come to prison for a long time in order to fill those shoes, right? And so there are people like, say, for instance, who might wonder, well, how come, the blacks, if you will, in prison, how come they might, instead of, sending somebody to stab someone, they might send them just to beat dog shit out of them, right? They do that because their numbers are already up, simply because of their complexion, right? Their complexion got their numbers up. Prison probably was built for them, right? It's nothing but another form of slavery, right? But on another team, it might be the case, well, why do I have to stab this person? Why come I can't beat the dog shit out of him? He would never know is that the reason that he has to go stab this person, although he only have 6 months, is because they want you to catch that extended period of time so you can be in here, because their numbers are dwindling. Now, the thing is, the game comes before your family, become before your freedom. Once you signed up, you signed on, and that's what it is. If you got a problem with it, you're going to be killed, right? And so other races, other groups, and I look at blacks and stuff and wonder, like, how come they just be kind of like, just beating the dog shit out of a person versus, like killing them. Now, killing happens, but it's as infrequent as you might realize. Why? Because their numbers are already naturally high. And then also, as a result, no matter that you Crip, Blood, BGF, Kumi, and all that other kind of stuff, the blacks are together as a whole, right? Yeah, we have our separate situations and stuff, but we're together as a whole. You can actually see different individuals function with other groups from all over that are also black, right? And so their numbers are already up, period. Now, here's what they don't know. This is what they don't tell you. This is the game they don't get. You already got the game that we need you in prison for the rest of your life, so be wise and sharp about that. But here's what the flip side don't know. Blacks, you might commit, as a black person, you might commit a minor infraction in there. You might got your ass whooped, right? But blacks are playing a whole different game out there in society. It is so easy for blacks to kill. Blacks are out killing out here on a whole different level and pushing the line completely different. The way people are pushing the line in prison, which used to be the way the blacks did it way back in the day, but they caught on to, being sharper about how they do this. Blacks are playing that on the streets, right? So you'll get knocked down real quicker for that infraction that you committed in prison out here on the streets. And you'll get knocked down, and that person, if they are on their way in prison for it, that's good looking out because he's a strong person, and we need that, right? We need that. So you have to be sharp all the way across the board. People don't know this stuff. They don't talk about this stuff. And hopefully that'll be helpful.